Hello, everybody, and welcome to Naturally Kim's Knitting. I'm Kim, and this is my podcast where I talk about knitting and crafty things and family and just chatter time. I do all these things from my home right here outside of Lima, Ohio, and I live here with my handsome husband, Randy, his handsome father, Ronald. I live here with Ginger, my puppy, and Heather, my kitty cat. You will notice that I didn't mention Tommy. He passed away this last weekend very peacefully in his sleep on the floor. So, yeah, sorry. I'll explain why I didn't record last week in a minute. Anyways, today is, sorry, today is March 1st. I have down here February 11th. This is from my last podcast. I think I better change it or I'm going to think, what in the world was I thinking about? So just a second. It takes me a second to type this in. When my little... Have you ever had one of those virus protectors or whatever, but you don't want to pay the money for it, but they keep popping up on your screen? That's what keeps popping up. It's driving me crazy. Anyways, so today is March 1st, and this is episode 298. You can find me online on YouTube, Blogger, Facebook, and WordPress. I'm sometimes on Facebook, but I don't really do very much on there, as Naturally Kim's Knitting. And then on Ravelry, I'm NapiersKnits. And then we have a podcast group called Naturally Kim's Knitting. And on Instagram, I'm knitting_Kim. And I am getting back into Instagram. The problem with that is I have such a rabbit hole I get into. Pinterest is another one. So many good ideas, so little time. Anyways, I'm changing my affiliates because it doesn't seem like anybody's really using Jimmy Bean's wool or Lion's brand from their store. So I am just going back to Knitpicks, Michaels. I have to look at this because I'll forget. Knitpicks, Michaels. What am I forgetting, girls and boys? Find it on my thingy. Michaels and Knitpicks. Okay, that's why. It's only Michaels and Knitpicks. If my picture gets blurry, I apologize. Something's going on with my camera. I'm not sure what. So that all that means is if you guys were to order from Michaels or Knitpicks and you go through my blog, which is ksnapier475.blogspot.com, and cut and paste the links, I get a couple pennies from your order. So, and it helps me because then I can turn that around and use it for gift cards. See? My mama didn't raise a dummy. Sorry about that. I couldn't help saying that. Anyways, and as I mentioned, gift cards. Well, I give those for our craft alongs. Okay, and I have a monthly. I have one that rolls over every other month. So, it actually is going from February through March. Now, I have changed things a little because I've never really said this before. Any craft items that you make for a drawing, please have it started on or after like March, or for this one, February 1st. And, like you're supposed to have it done the end of the time. Because I can't, I'm trusting your honesty on it too. So that I can know that you are doing this. Because I have some that put in many, many, many items, and some that I could tell they're going within the time frame, and that is wonderful. So, to let you know, this is Juicy Juice Berry mixed with a little bit of LaCroix to give it a fizzy feeling. My daughter-in-law gave me this idea, only she started it with tea, and I've done it with tea, but last week I really needed fruit juices. Anyways, so I was talking about the finished object craft along. That's the one that's going from February through March. Take a picture of any item that you finish, post it under the thread, put down start and finish dates if you have them. Since this is a new thing, if you don't have them, I'll give you a little bit of a leeway. But for the new craft along, we need to have start and finish dates. Sorry about that. Take a picture of it, post it, put a start and finish date if you've got it, put a pattern name if you've got it, because people like me look at your items and say, ooh, how cool. And then I go and buy or pick up the pattern or put it on my wish list or whatever. So, last month or the last 2 months, we had a try a new stitch or technique. And I know that could be scary for many of you. And I think that's why I didn't have quite as many entries as I sometimes do. So I didn't draw. Random number generator drew 2 numbers this morning. And the winners were EYENOWHOUR and LMECOLL. LMECOLL. I love saying her name like that. These two can choose between a $10 NitPicks gift card or a $10 Michaels gift card, or any pattern, giftable pattern for up to $10. Then also, if you would like to, I realize many of you have bought many of Mila's patterns, but if you haven't, go over to Mila's knit corner and find a pattern, and I will gift that to you, because all of her profits, all of her money is going to help those from Ukraine. And it's a place where my heart is too. And knowing that I could trust this person to do what she says she's going to do helps a lot. So we finished a craft along. Now it's time to start a craft along. This was suggested to me by another Linda on our thread. She said, why don't we do socks? So for March and April, we're going to do Let's Make Socks. Yay! Now, once again, needs to be started today or later and finished by April 30th. You know, anytime that you do that, take a picture of the sock, post it. If there's a sock pattern name, please post that, because I love sock patterns, especially if they're toe up. I have a little more trouble with cuff down. I don't like Kitchener stitch. What was I talking about? Oh, and also put your start and ending date on there, okay? If you remember, okay? Like I said, I'm giving you a little leeway, but I'm going to have to be a stickler on it before long. Let's see. Random number generator will pick the winners on May 1st. There's 2 winners for each of my craft alongs, and like I said, they can choose from a Michaels or NitPicks $10 gift card or a giftable pattern up to $10. Same thing with the Let's Make Socks. So let's see. If anybody would be interested, it's a good thing I read my show notes once in a while, in donating a prize or sponsoring a prize or something, let me know. I'll put it in for the next time, or I'll put it in for this time. I mean, I could always put it in for the finished object. It's not too late. I could put it in the Let's Make Socks. It's not too late. So, hey. So that's what we're doing now, is socks. Yes, I do a lot of socks. You're going to notice I didn't bring mine out. Cleaned up the bedroom this weekend, and my little bag, we had it back there. My little bag that I keep my sock yarn, my socks in, disappeared. I'm hoping it didn't get thrown away. I liked those socks. Anyways, if I get too warm, I may end up moving. The fireplace is on behind me. It's not putting out a lot of heat today. I don't know why. I just want to get the chill off the air, and then, then I'm fine the rest of the day. So, now it's time to talk about what's on my needles. I'm going to turn this a little bit. I'm sorry, but that's where I am with my Afghan. And I know I'm on May. I'm on the 4th week of May. So how about that? Yay! Love it. Then, after having put them aside so I could work on the adult sweaters, I'm back to my grandkids' sweaters. And not only am I back to the, I dropped a lot of stitches. Not only am I back to them, I'm on the plain knitting part, right below the pattern. I don't know if you can tell. You see the unicorns there? I hope you do. I just lost my. Oh, there it is. I was gonna say I just dropped my stitch marker too. So that's the unicorns. That one's called Unicorn Sweater by Yvonne B. Thorson, and that's for Genevieve. And then this one's for Tobias. It's Dancing T-Rexes, and I feel bad because I know he doesn't like T-Rexes. And he even told me this. But I think he'll wear it. They look like they're dancing. So that's his. And I don't have the soup kitchen socks to show you guys. Sorry about that. Don't have anything finished. No. Haven't started anything new. No. Oh, I am so sad because I did sign up for a pattern test for Nitty Pearly. I think it's called McNitty Pearly. Hi. My puppy's up here. Anyways, I signed up for a pattern test for her. All intentions of doing it, and then I realized we don't get the pattern until March 10th. I have my thumb surgery on March 13th. There'd have been no way I could have gotten a sweater done anyways. So I had to send her an apology letter today saying, I don't know where my mind was. But March 13th, my little thumb gets operated on, and then unless they've changed things. The last time I wasn't able to move my thumb for 2 weeks. So, if you don't tell my doctor, I do know how I'll knit. 2 weeks without knitting? But I wouldn't have been able to keep up with the time frame that a pattern test needed. So I was glad she understood. She told me good luck with my surgery. So anyway, so that's what's going on the 13th. But it needs done because there's very little. You do not realize how much you do. You do use your left arm if you're right hand dominant until the thumb is out of commission. Because you use your thumb to grasp, to hold, and all this stuff. I can't depend on it to grasp. I can't depend on it to hold. What did I drop the other day? Something. It wasn't breakable, thank goodness. But I said, that's because of my thumb. I've got used to using my left arm when I had my right shoulder replaced. Yeah. And so now, even though I do use my right hand, there's sometimes you need both hands. Or sometimes it just makes sense to do something with the left hand. And I can't depend on it right now. In a few weeks, probably about a month, I'll be able to. Anyways, and then I wanted to tell you, I don't know about where you guys live. Boy, I'm whipping right through this today. But here we have had, I want to say unseasonable February weather. However, I do live in Ohio. And there is no such thing as a regular winter. So I took the doggie out the other day when I had a cold. Anyways, when I was feeling I could do it, I took her out and I was looking around and my daffodils are all up. Oh, probably about that much. The green. And my husband goes, oh no. I said, no, dear. These are bulbs. Bulbs are hardy. I said, fruit trees you don't want to bud out into flower buds. However, you do want them to start budding with their leaf buds. They should have been doing that last fall because that's what makes the leaves drop. Didn't know that? Something new. Yes, I have a two-year degree in horticulture, and sometimes it does creep up into my conversations. Anyway, so it makes me so tickled though when I look out there and I see my daffodils getting ready to, it won't be long. They'll be blooming probably in March. And this is March. That's not, that's normal. So anyways, yeah. I'm not I doubt it, but I might be able to go outside and recuperate from my thumb a little bit. Okay, so it's been a couple weeks since I podcasted, whatever. And I did say I was going to do it the next week. Well, my sweet husband, he is so generous. He brought home a horrendous cold. It was a cold. It wasn't COVID. It was a cold. And when I get a cold, whereby he must have a more robust immune system than me. My immune system is busy fighting arthritis, migraines, whatever. So when I get a cold, I am down. And I was down last week. I had a little fever, wouldn't break. So I knew it was getting better. Excuse me. Ginger, don't bark. Don't bark. Sorry. My father-in-law's going out to get the mail, and Ginger likes to play a game at the door with them. Can I let go? Will you not bark? Okay. I don't know if you can hear her, but now she's trotting all the way to the door. I love my dog. I love my cat. Although Heather has become more Randy's cat than mine. Anyways, back to my cold. So Tuesday, I was so congested, and my voice actually sounded a lot worse than this. And I thought, there's no way. Maybe tomorrow. Wednesday, same thing. It was, I couldn't go to church Sunday. I was like this, and coughing. I had to call my doctor and say, is there anything that you can give for a non-productive cough that won't interact with any of my other meds? And he found something, and it worked. Now I'm drinking a lot of fruit juice because I need to loosen up stuff. Excuse me. So anyways, yeah, so last week was out. Couldn't do it. And then I was going to do it yesterday. I had every intention of doing it yesterday. But a couple things told me, no, you're not. My goodness. It's right down there. Oh. One thing, I went to turn on my computer Monday morning for tutoring. The computer wouldn't turn on. Well, uh-oh. Because this computer is about a year old. And yes, I've had my issues, such as with the camera, which it seems to be working now. Praise God. But it wouldn't turn on. So he took it with him to work on Tuesday, because we got it from Best Buy. And you now have to make a 20-minute appointment with them when they work on your computer. Okay? We didn't know this. So he went in to see if they would look at it. And when he got back to his office, his laptop wouldn't turn on. He thought, what in the world? Well, he called an IT guy down to his office. And he had put his to sleep. Well, I don't ever do that with mine. I don't put it to sleep. However, I had an update not too long ago. And so in addition to the other 3 things that they have there, they have sign-on options. Well, I wasn't paying attention, and I went down to where shut off should be, and that was sleep. And I didn't know how to get out of it. I mean, I didn't know it was in sleep. It was asleep, whatever, until my husband called me and said, your computer was asleep. I said, when he got home, I said, okay, so what do I do if I ever do that again? And he told me, I went, oh, okay, I can handle that. But I still couldn't figure out how I got to go to sleep. So I turned my computer off last night. So anyway, so I didn't get it back until late last night, and I had to download something for my tutoring. So, last night was out of the question. So it turned out to be today, which was handy because it's March 1st. I needed to do the drawings anyways, and this way I could tell everybody. Otherwise, I sent emails to the winners. So, anyways, I think another reason why I've not been on top of my podcasting, I call it newsitis. There's just so much bad stuff going on in the world. I mean, some nature related, some people related, just lots of things. And it gets me down if I see too much of it. So I've started. There's a YouTube show called Bondi Vet, Bondi Vets, and I always make sure I watch one of those sometime throughout my day. And then also there is so I quit Netflix, so I can no longer get the Great British Bake Off. But on YouTube there is the Great Australian Bake Off. And I didn't know the people in Great British Bake Off except for the hosts and everything. Well, same thing here, but now I've really gotten to like the hosts and the judges. So I just watch that now. Excuse me, my father-in-law's coming back in. She actually wasn't too noisy that time. Anyway, so I make sure I put some good and with all the bad that's on. And of course, I do have my Critical Role, which is my Dungeons and Dragons, and another funny one that takes place in New Zealand. So I do try to get that in every day. Anyways, I will warn you, I have, in case you didn't notice, I don't have any new pictures of my grandkids right now. So you're just going to have to look at the old ones. I'm sorry. And I know last time I put a video of my Indiana granddaughter, and oh, she's growing. We were going to see her this weekend, and my husband had told my son, "Well, if we can't do it this weekend, we'll do it." He emailed him last weekend. We could do it this weekend. And I looked at him and said, "Well, you can. I've got a cold. I'm not giving it to them and to Elsie." I said, "So you can go, but I wouldn't be able to." And we really wanted to get over there before I have my thumb surgery, because then it's going to be another 2 weeks after that before I can hold her. So, oh well, doesn't look like it will be. But that's okay. That's okay. Anyways, I think that's about it for today. I've chatted enough. I haven't finished my drink. If you sat down with something to drink, did you finish it? And once again, I haven't answered questions for a long time. If any of you guys ever have any questions or anything you want to ask me, just put it down in the show notes or whatever. Because I have noticed, I miss doing this with you guys, but I miss the comments. I miss it when you guys, send me little notes or whatever. So, anyways, I think that's about it. I hope you guys have been having a wonderful time with your crafting. And I hope that continues on, and I hope you don't make any mistakes with it. But if you do, I hope they're little ones, and they're easy to fix. I love you all. Big, big hugs. Take care, and God bless. And hopefully I will see you next Tuesday. Bye-bye.